Good morning, everyone. So, welcome to our Sunday service here at the Center of Peace, where we gather to uplift, inspire, and remember who we truly are, divine expressions of love and light. Whether you're here in person or joining us online, we are so grateful to have you here. My name is Alima A. Boyd, and I'll be your MC for today. So, assisting us in our service are our licensed practitioners, Cynthia Banks, who will be ringing the chakra bowl to allow us to center. Leading us in our meditation will be Sandra Forrest. Leading us in our treatment and affirmative prayer will be Trisha Grady. Our sacred reading will be done by Cynthia Banks. And holding consciousness will be Deborah Ford and Kutia Thompson. Our music will be brought forth by Warren Cooper. Treatment after service will be Sandy Forrest. And greeting all who walk into the space are Susan Saunders and Donna Ray. And we have Al and Vern, Nicole as our audio-visual tech team. So now we will move forward into our service as Sandra comes up to lead us in our meditation.
Good morning, Center of Peace. And welcome to this oneness meditation. I'd like you to start by sitting comfortably but relaxed, feet grounded or legs gently crossed, hands resting in your lap, eyes closed or gaze softened. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose and gently exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale deeply, filling your lungs, and exhale fully, releasing any tension you've been carrying. With each breath, allow yourself to arrive fully here in this present moment. Now bring your awareness inward into the stillness at your center. As you inhale, imagine you are breathing in pure energy of life, unconditional presence. As you exhale, imagine this energy flowing outward, touching all that exists. Silently affirm, I am part of the whole, and the whole is part of me. Feel yourself as one drop in an infinite ocean, distinct yet inseparable from its waters. Now visualize a soft, radiant light at the center of your heart. With each breath, see it expanding, filling your entire body with warmth and peace. Watch as this light flows outward, touching the people, places, and beings around you and beyond, into the trees, the rivers, the stars, the sky. Rest in this awareness There is no true separation. Now bring to mind one small way you can live from this truth today. A kind word, a gentle action, a moment of true listening. Silently set the intention. In all I do, I remember we are one. Imagine yourself carrying this awareness with you into your day, allowing it to guide your choices and your responses. Now slowly return your awareness to your physical body. Feel the support beneath you. Feel the steadiness of your breath. If you wish, place your hands over your heart. With presence and sincerity, softly repeat this mantra with me 3 times. I am one with all life. All life is one with me. In every thought, word, and action, I remember our oneness. Take one final deep breath, and when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Carry this presence forward, knowing that oneness is not something you create, it is something you return to again and again. And so it is.
Feeling this presence that is spirit in this space, in this city, in this town, knowing that spirit is expressing fully through each of us at this moment with all that is needed in this moment. This space is full of all that spirit is, its love, its peace, its harmony, its perfect health, wellness, unity. We are all one with all that spirit is. We're one in this moment, allowing ourselves to be in unison together, knowing that this service unfolds perfectly, that the word, the lesson, the truth will flow freely and easily through Reverend Rodney, knowing that the practitioners are filled with all that is needed in this moment. The peace and harmony of spirit, the love and wellness. It is flowing through the technicians, through all of the congregation. And I know that this presence brings forth the learning, the open-heartedness, the peace that is what is needed to ground us in all that Spirit is. And so I'm grateful for this moment. I'm grateful for this teaching, this time together, this feeling of love and harmony that flows in this space. And so with gratitude, I release these words into the law of mind, knowing that it is done, it is complete, and together we say, and so it is.
And now it's time to move into reading our vision and mission statement. It's to my right, and it's also behind your chairs. Our vision: a loving and peaceful world where all of humanity is honored as the divinity within is experienced. Our mission: the Center of Peace is a loving, inclusive, and vibrant community that utilizes and demonstrates spiritual principles and practices to cultivate powerful individuals who together create peace throughout the world. Oh, I meant to ask you to stand, but now you may stand as we sing our congregational song. Our congregational song was written by retired licensed practitioner Bayless Webb.
I'm one with Spirit, the Holy Spirit, and it dwells inside of me. This perfect Spirit, pure loving Spirit, rests in everything I see. God walks beside me, protects and guides me. It's ever with me where'er I go. I trust its power, God's healing power. Its love surrounds me, and this I know. I live in spirit, I breathe in spirit. It lives within me, and so I am a spirit, I think a spirit. Its life is my life, I know. God's life is my life, I know. God's life is my life, I know.
And please remain standing and take a look around the room. Look into each other's eyes. Send love, send light. And hugs if you care to hug. And if there's anyone new that's here for the first time, everyone else can be seated. If there's anyone new, I'd like to ask if you remain standing so we can send you love. Welcome to the Center of Peace. We know who you are. A pure divine light of and a unique expression of the one Spirit. Unique and perfect in every way. We honor you. And we welcome you. Welcome to the Center of Peace. And please reach out to our guest at the end of. Oh, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so I think it's time for announcements. Tricia?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Patricia Grady. I'm on the board. I'm the secretary. I'm also the director of operations and a practitioner here at the center. And my pronouns are she and her. So the announcements, completing a circle, which is the way the Center of Peace gets information on how our various ministries are doing. So we ask people to come together in what we call a small circle and provide feedback based on some questions that we have. So next Sunday, which is August 17th, after service here in the children's room, we will have a small circle focused on Sunday service. So anyone who has had experience with Sunday service can participate, and that's everyone. So we're looking for a couple of people, maybe 6 people or so, to join us. So it'll be at from 1 to 2:30, and you can let me, Reverend Twana, Barb Jones, Susan Robinson, and Carolyn Hoke, or Cynthia Banks know that you're interested. There's also something in our email newsletter where you can register to participate. And we'll be giving a gift card to everyone who participates. The next is Beach Day. Our last beach day of the year is coming up this Wednesday, and it's at Ocean City, New Jersey, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So yeah, come out, help us celebrate, our unity and enjoy the last trip of the summer. If you need more information, that is also online and in our newsletter. And then the last is Families Forward, if Donna.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Oh, it's that time of year. It's back to school, hit the books. And every year we have been contributing to Families Forward Philadelphia, which is a temporary homeless shelter for families in the city. It is the only one where the family can remain as a unit, meaning spouses, partners, husbands, sons can remain in the same unit, whereas in other shelters they are separated by their gender. So Families Forward is the only one that keeps the family intact. It is temporary housing, and we're now at the time of back to school, and we're asking your financial donation so that the children will be able to go to school in full attire. Cost for a uniform, which is 1 pair of pants, 2 shirts, and maybe a pair of shoes, is about $125, $150 now. So if you have 2 kids, that's $250. If you have 3 kids, that's $375. So we're asking for your financial contribution today and next Sunday. You can use the envelope that is in the pocket in the back of your chair, and you would simply write your name and your address, because we do give you financial tax contributions at the end of the year that you contributed to this nonprofit organization. And at the bottom where it says fund name, you can just put Families Forward, or you can just put FF. But be sure to include your name and your contact information and the amount and check number. We appreciate our continued effort, and I know Families for It is very grateful, very, very grateful for how the Centerpiece has been partnering with them for about the last 10 years. So they're greatly appreciative of it. So this Sunday and next Sunday, you can do it. You can go to our website and do it online if you have an account on the Breeze Electronic Service. And you can always send it in the mail, but please be sure it gets here. You know how the U.S. Postal Service is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Donna. Okay, so beverages, please make sure you have a lid on them. Don't forget your belongings as you're leaving later. You can get on our mailing list by downloading the QR code, which is behind the chairs. That's for our newsletter. You can check our website for different information, different classes that are coming up, different ways to contact the practitioners. Like us and subscribe on social media. And after service, practitioners are available for prayer. There's meditation on Wednesdays, and yeah, information about both of those is on the website. Thank you.
Grace and Peace, Center of Peace. Let me see, where are we here? We're like this. Always a blessing to be invited to share in this space. I've done this tune before, but I do it again. You know, most of the time, I think it's all the time, actually, that I am invited here. I see it as an opportunity to share what the Spirit is working on in me. And as I see all of the things that I see in our world and our communities, I am moved to visualize healing. Biblically, there is a verse that asks, is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no healing for this place? And in our way of understanding in this circle, we understand that we are carrying all of the healing that the world needs. This particular rendition then of this spiritual represents the transformation from knowing that there needs to be healing to understanding that we are in fact the source of it. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin sick soul. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Sometimes I feel discouraged begin to think my works in vain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again and again and again. There is a balm in Gilead that makes the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin sick, to heal the sin sick soul, to heal the sin sick Just give me a clap like this. The affirmation is, I am the balm, I am the balm, I am the balm in Gilead. Already whole with healing in my soul. I am the balm in Gilead. Sing it with me, say, I am the balm, I am the balm, I am the balm in Gilead. Already whole with healing in my soul. I am the balm in Gilead. Sometimes I feel discouraged and think my work in vain. But then the love of Spirit revives my soul again. Come on, you say, I am the balm, I am the balm, I am the balm in Gilead. I am already whole with healing in my soul. I am the balm in Gilead. The world all around me is crazier every day, but I know that I can heal it every time I say, you say it, say, I am the balm, I am the balm, I am the balm in Gilead. I am already whole with healing in my soul. I am the balm in Gilead. Say, I am the balm, I am the balm, I am the balm in Gilead. I am already whole with healing in my soul. I am the balm in Gilead. And so it is.
Good morning. Thank you, Warren. That was fantastic. Okay, would you please stand and repeat the affirmation after me? I choose to remember that I can never be separate or apart from life. I am more than a part of life. I am life itself. And so it is. Please be seated. Today's reading is from The Art of Meditation, page 23 and 24, and Practicing the Presence, page 93 and 96, by Joel S. Goldsmith. The initial stage of meditation may be a contemplation of God, the beauty of God's universe, the law of God, and the activity of God. Our life becomes that of a beholder, beholding the glory of God in all things, in the green grass, in the gentle breeze, in the turbulence of the ocean, and in the calm of the night. In this contemplative state of being, we cannot behold anything in this world without, at the same moment, recognizing its cause, the invisible spiritual activity which produced it. We should never look at a sunrise or sunset without instantly realizing the spiritual nature of that which brought it into expression. God, the creative principle of the mountains, the skies, and the seas. God, the creative principle of that which fills the air with birds and stocks the seas with fish. If we live continuously in the contemplation of the invisible presence and power underlying all things, this very place whereon we stand is holy ground. Far too many aspirants of the spiritual way of life know the letter of truth and are satisfied to stop there. I and my Father are one is the correct letter of truth. Does repeating these words or does an intellectual knowledge of them help us in any way? How often do we say, I am God's perfect child, I am spiritual, I am divine, and then find that we are just as poor as we were before, or in just as much trouble? These are only statements. It is similar to sitting in a dark room and saying over and over again, electricity gives light. That is a correct statement, but we shall still be sitting in the dark until, by turning on the switch, a connection is made with the source of the electricity. So, nothing is going to happen to us, regardless of how many affirmations of truth we know or repeat, unless we attain the consciousness of that truth and realize our oneness with our source. Meditation is that way. Meditation is an invitation for God to speak to us or make himself known to us. It is not an attempt to reach God. Since God is omnipresent, the presence already is. The presence always is, in sickness or in health, in lack or in abundance. The presence of God always and already is. We are not seeking to reach God, but rather to achieve such a state of stillness that the awareness of God's presence permeates us all. And so it is. And the affirmation and reading were submitted by licensed professional practitioner Zulma Gonzalez.
So I am a fan of hymns and spirituals. And a lot of those things, because of how things are, were constructed in the language of separation. Part of my journey has been the discovery of the places where that separation finds itself into oneness. So I'll share this slight adjustment of a classic hymn which speaks of exactly what we are called to do, which is surrender to spirit. Oh, to spirit I surrender, all within I freely give. I will ever love and trust and in the presence daily live. When I say I surrender, I surrender, all for blessings for my soul to savor. Oh, I surrender. All to spirit I surrender, Lord. Express yourself as me. You filled me with your love and power. Bless me now to set it free. Then I'll say, I surrender. I surrender. All this blessing I will savor. I surrender all. Can you say I surrender all? Will you say I surrender all? Blessings now for my soul to savor. I surrender all.
show Warren some more love. Have my notes. I think you took my notes. Okay. All right. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Reverend Rodney Giddens. Reverend Rodney Giddens is a devoted spiritual leader, teacher, and servant of the heart. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, where he still resides. Reverend Giddens has dedicated his life to walking the path of loving service. Since first being introduced to religious science in 1996, his journey has been one of deep commitment to spiritual growth, community empowerment, and leadership. He is the founder and senior minister of One Love Center for Spiritual Living, established in 2012, and officially affiliated in 2017, and he became an ordained minister in 2021. Within the Centers of Spiritual Living organization, he has served in numerous leadership roles, including as a regional diversity trainer, member of the Diversity Commission Visioning Team, the Vision Team, and the Awards Committee. He is also a co-founder of People of African Descent New Thought. Reverend Giddens is known for his warmth, his humor, compassion, and dedication to building communities rooted in love and inclusivity. He says yes to the ever-expanding call of spirit and action, answering it with grace, joy, and an open heart. Please join me in welcoming Reverend Rodney S. Giddens.
Thank you. Would you like a hug?
I'll never say no to a hug.
Thank you. Okay. I'm so grateful to be here today. I'm just in a moment of surrendering. Thank you. Well, I'm grateful to be at my home away from home. I just love being here. You just have to forgive me of just soaking in all this beauty, all this power, all this love. I love the mission. It says, cultivating powerful individuals. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm seeing it right now. I get it. Oh, wonderful place to be. I'm so grateful that Reverend Tawana has asked me to come again and be here for her during one of her well-deserved breaks. So thank you for receiving me. Thank you for having me. It's good to see familiar faces, some from my very beginning at Center of Peace. And so again, thank you again. Good to be home. Yeah, that surrender is something else. All I know is this is about being spiritually fed. And right now, I'm feeling like it's overflowing. I know, you can never get fed up. You can just never get enough of this stuff. This is all so good. So I can't wait to hear what Reverend Rod has to share today. I'm open. So last time I was here, I talked about the divine nose. Remember that? Or those who were here maybe saw it. I'm not talking about that today. I thought about it. I'm like, no, okay. I said, no, I'm not. And when I heard that, it reminded me that just a few days prior to that, I helped somebody unravel a knot. And I'm like, I'm good at that. I'm good at unraveling knots. And as we quite often do, I'm like, that sounds like a talk happening. Yeah. And so the knot was just not K-N-O-T, it was N-O-T. And like, how often do I use that, like, as in saying, I am not. I am not. You know, I'm good at knots. It's like, whoa, you know, I don't want to go there. It just didn't feel like the message that was going to really do justice, especially for me. But I said, but wait a minute. I mean, have you ever felt like things aren't working out and you expect things to look a certain way? And maybe you're juggling so much stuff and you're doing so much here and there and you feel all discombobulated and things get what? All knotted up. I'm not doing this, this is not working out. I'm like, whoa. So I had to step back and thank God for spiritual practice, especially the meditation. Thank for the wonderful meditation today. And the songs and everything was about what? Who am I being? Okay? Not what I'm not. Make it affirmative. What about who am I being? And I'm like, well, that sounds like something worth talking about. Okay? And a little more than that, we have opportunity to be less uncomfortable in the unknotting, the unraveling. Because like in that surrender, it's like I got to let go of stuff. I got to open up. You know, I have to, and that's the first step, is to surrender. Whatever I've been holding on to, whatever I've been knotting up, just let it go. Let it be. And sometimes I got to walk away. That string, whatever it is all knotted up. You know what? Just let it go. I surrender. You know, instead of trying to make it work. You know, it's like, let me surrender. And so then how do we relax into being? Into who am I being? Who am I going to be? Who I want to be? You know, sometimes when, but you know, that's process. But it's about yet to be. You know, those who remember anything about me is I like acronyms. So that's an easy one. B, B-E, okay? And you can get that all warmed up over there. And I'm like, yeah, it's not saying no to not what I don't want, it's like yes to be. And so, what came up next was B, bees, not bees, bees. However, speaking of being, what came up, which something I didn't really pay a lot of attention to, and maybe there are some Bible scholars in here, what came up was the Beatitudes. I'm like, gee, I've always liked that word, and going through school and everything, I had to go over them, and we learned about them. I said, there's got to be more to it than that, even though they're great. The Beatitudes, ways of being, from the Bible. Jesus speaking in the Sermon on the Mount. He's got a whole lot of stuff besides that, but the Beatitudes are like a basic blueprint on how to be. It's like not for nothing, it's for something. It's for how do we show up in the world? How do we show up whether things are working out the way we want or not the way we want? Especially when there's knots. It's like, how am I getting through this? How am I getting out of this? How am I getting, we might want to get around it, but we know it's really about getting through it. But first things first, we have to surrender. Surrender into a deeper understanding. And so what I'm so grateful for this teaching, that we get to examine the words that we use and how we use them. So the Beatitudes is great. I was like, well, what about the B part? You know, what kind of attitude am I applying to my life today? You know, sometimes you might start off your day with meditation, and then when you start going throughout your day, whether you're going to work or whatever, or hanging out with friends, and sometimes you just pick up an attitude. You know, you swear it didn't come from you. You got it from somebody else. Threw their attitude on me, and now I got it. You know, I mean, no, we don't have to take responsibility for their attitude, except now we got it. And what do we do with that attitude? Because usually it's not going to serve us well when we have an attitude. But thank God we have a B attitude. How would I rather be with this attitude? Is it loading up? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So because we're in new thought, we get to have a new thought about it. So we step into a deeper understanding of what Jesus was talking about. The Beatitudes. I mean, I just love that. You know, this is made for new thought. You know, it's like life is not only about what we do, it's how we choose to be in each moment, correct? And so the Beatitudes are sacred sayings that come from the opening verses of the famous Sermon on the Mount, and that's in Matthew chapter 3rd to 12th verse. He starts off each phrase with, blessed are. Yeah, blessed are. So we're already starting off with a blessing, blessing ourselves, right? So we can move into the first one. The next one, yeah. So, again, not just a list of virtues, and all of the major religions have something, whether it's Buddhism or Confucianism, Hinduism, they all have virtues that are the foundation of their religion. I mean, the spiritual foundation. And so, ways of being for that. See, surrender isn't enough. You know, we got to surrender. Once we surrender, then we can kind of walk through the open door. Then we can allow ourselves, and I use the awareness of the personal holy, heavenly domain. In the Bible and other interpretations, they use the word kingdom. And I was like, okay, you know, let's not do the gender thing. Because I started to do kingdom, queendom. I'm like, no, it's got to be something else. Your personal heavenly domain, right? Does that make sense to everybody? Yeah? Okay. I mean, you can use it if you want. Yeah, I won't charge you. But I'm just saying. Is that kingdom, queendom? Yeah, yeah. No, it's not a place. You know, it's not domain over anything else but ourselves. Okay? So, in New Thought perspective, that personal inquiry we're asking of ourselves. We're doing our own spiritual work. I mean, you know, many times we want to take somebody else's inventory and tell them what they need to be and do so they get to have what we think they should be, do, and have. No, we're talking about a personal inquiry. Take it on for yourself. Who are you choosing to be? All right, so let's take a look. What attitude are you choosing to live? You have a choice. Nobody gets to make you do anything. Nobody gets to make you feel any old kind of way. Guess whose responsibility that is? You know, whose choice is it? Now, I know stuff happens, especially driving. All right, see, I got some identification here. When somebody cuts you off, what's the attitude? Oh, sure, go ahead. That's not my first choice, I gotta admit. But I have a choice. The next breath, the next choice. What am I gonna do next? You know, so who in that moment am I choosing to be? How am I choosing to be it? Am I surrendering? And then what? The attitude that I'm going to live in that moment? Because, you know, in that moment, When somebody steps on your toe or cuts you off or calls you outside your name, you have the next moment after that. Okay, got to surrender that previous moment. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that song. I'm working it. And then what? So the attitude you choose to be is what we're going to talk about. The Beatitudes with acronyms. Okay? So add a little spice to it. Let's go on to the next one. Thank you. So, blessed. Oh, no, okay. Are the poor in spirit. And that translates into New Thought language as becoming enlightened. So to be poor in spirit is to release the ego. You know, a lot of people misinterpret what this really is supposed to mean. Poor in spirit really means to release that false pride. Okay? To open our hearts to divine awareness and humble ourselves before the truth. Again, here's another word. I don't know if you looked it up. Humble. You guys know the real meaning of humble. You know, it doesn't mean just sit back and like, okay, yeah, that's the way it is, and I'm not going to fight it. No, humble means your true nature. Humble says you can, you know, you can brag on yourself if you want, just don't get carried away. You know, humble is recognize the truth of who you are. That's what humble means. It is the truth. If somebody says, hey, you did a great job, humble, you get to say, yes, I did, thank you. You know, humble doesn't mean, oh, no, it wasn't me, I did, you know. No, that's not humble. Humble is, yes, thank you for recognizing that, I appreciate that. You know, I have everything I need to get that job done, thank you. That's humble. And that's our becoming enlightened, okay? Awakening to the light within, knowing the truth of who we are. Let your light shine. Yes? Is that making sense? Does that feel better? Feel good? You can wear that, right? Yeah, I could be that. I can have an attitude of being enlightened. Yes? All right, I'm seeing some smiles. Yeah, you know, let it circulate. Yeah. And the next one. The next blessing is blessed are they that mourn. And that is being embraced. So the metaphysical meaning is the movement of the heart when love has been touched by loss. You know how you feel like sometimes it just feels empty, but there's another feeling? And that's the feeling where yeah, we're open. Well, our heart is open. And a lot of times we don't want to be because it feels vulnerable. Okay? However, when we are in that realm, that attitude, it's about being embraced. It's feeling ourselves embraced by the divine. Because we're open and we're sensitive. And vulnerable is not a weakness, it's a strength. Because to be open means you're using faith and trust. All right? And allowing ourselves to be embraced by the divine. So it also helps to surrender, but it also helps to surrender to what? Surrender to the awareness that God is for us, never against us. Faith and trust in something that is for us and never against us. Yes? All right. Let's move to the next one. I always liked this one because I thought I was always meek and mild and all, you know, like, balanced expression. Meek are not weak. They are spiritually balanced, grounded, and receptive to the flow of good. Balanced expression means you know when to speak, when to listen, and when to simply radiate peace. Have you been around where there's a lot of turmoil and a lot of strife and a lot of, you know, conflict? And those who are aware, those who know, what do? They just sit there and let things unfold for other people. You know, it's like, but what happens in sports? When there's a fight or there's hockey or whatever sport it is, and then somebody else wants to jump in, what do they call it? The third man in, right? And that's the one that gets caught. Right? That's the one who gets thrown out of the game. Man, like, wait a minute, I'm just trying to break it up. No, it's okay to just be still. Allow things to unfold. When to speak, when to listen, And it's like, I remember early on in this teaching, learning about treatment. And the practitioner who was teaching the class said, when you pass a traffic accident, don't stare at the accident. Don't look to see, oh my God, what happened? And then you get all emotionally flustered and everything. It's like, just go within. Just do a silent prayer. Do a treatment for all involved. Know the highest and the best. And keep moving. Don't just stuck in that moment. So yeah, balanced expression. All right. And so the next one, please. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness. Boundless expression. So metaphysically, it means that we're desiring spiritual alignment over anything else. Spiritual alignment. See, hunger and thirst are not like bad things. Just means that, you know what? It's time. It's time to get refreshed, re-energized, to pay attention, really. Sometimes how you can go throughout a day, I speak for myself, and I haven't eaten, and I haven't had anything to drink. I'm like, ooh, something doesn't feel right. But I didn't get the message that it's actually thirst or hunger. Well, the same thing happens to us on a spiritual level. You go out your door, and you didn't meditate, you didn't pray, you just got up and go. Don't you feel a little bit out of sorts? Especially when you launch yourself into life, and stuff is going on, and it's like whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Like wow. Slow down. And that's basically our message for ourselves. So, whoa, wait a minute, slow down. Now, one very important thing I learned I have 12-step experience, and one of the most important things they said was, at any time, you can start your day over. And I would just like stop, do the serenity prayer or whatever prayer. I'm like, okay, my day starts now. And now I get to feed myself what I need to have in my body, in my soul, in my spirit, in my mind, in my heart. Yeah, we get to do that. Nobody says my day starts when I wake up and I got to trudge through the whole day. What do people say to themselves? Oh, I'm having such a bad day. Start your day over again at any time. I got that concept when I realized that, there's all these different time zones around the planet. So who says I have to go by the clock? All right? Well, it's 10 o'clock. I got all day to have a bad day. No, just start your day over. Make your own clock, right? Your own time schedule. Start your day over every minute if you need to, right? I'm just saying. All right, so growing into greater truth, wisdom, and spiritual capacity. Again, there's that surrender. It's like, you know what? Let me stop for a moment and see what's available for me in this next moment. Growing in truth, wisdom, and a spiritual capacity to be spiritually fed in so many different ways, if you're open. If you see the smile of a child, it's not your child maybe, but just anybody's child, you're like, wow, what are they smiling about? I guess I could do that too. That's that wisdom, the spiritual capacity for greater expression of my light, of our light. Let's go on to the next one, please. Blessed are the merciful. Blessing everyone. Don't you love blessing people? Yes? No? Yes? Just checking, yeah? Okay. You know, you don't have to make it anything formal. Like, I think I did this in foundations class. Everybody had foundations class? Yeah, okay, all right. And we were talking about money and how, money is spirit in action. And so what worked for me was every time I hand somebody money or receive money, I would like, bless you. And I'm like, okay, well, that's spirit in action. That makes sense to me. Also, it says on the bill, in God we trust. I'm like, okay, well, that really makes sense. The presence of the divine in me is blessing you, and I'm being blessed in return, just from that activity of God, in action of God. So anyway, mercy, you got to be compassionate. When they step on your toe, be compassionate. With who first? With yourself first. Give yourself some compassion, and then spread it to somebody else. They probably didn't mean to step on your foot, or maybe they did. But either way, what's going to hurt? When we are merciful, we are blessing everyone because we're doing a namaste, right? The presence of God within me recognizes the presence of God within you, right? We are merciful. Well, how about full of mercy? We are full of mercy. What are you going to do with it? You can't keep it unless you give it away, right? You've heard that one before? Right? Give it away. Give it away, your compassion. You're not going to run out. It's like love, peace, joy. You're not going to run out. Patience. You're not going to run out. Anybody disagree with that? I'll just explain really quickly. All of these are eternal. You're not going to run out of love. The question is, how much are you going to use in each moment? How much patience? Because how do we phrase that? Now, maybe nobody here. Maybe you know somebody who says, I've run out of patience. No, you just run out of the patience to use your patience. Right? You're not going to run out. You're not going to run out of love. But just how much are you using? Okay? How much compassion are you using? How much peace are you using? This is 100% peace. How much of it do you want to use? A piece of peace or all of peace? Okay. So let's do the next one. Blessed are the pure in heart, brilliant essence. That makes plenty of sense, right? That one don't need much explanation, right? Purity of heart meaning clarity of intention. You know where you're coming from. You know what your intention is. Is it pure? Is it well meant? Or is it coming out of fear? No. Without hidden agendas. Most of the time, when we're coming from a selfish place, when we're coming from, this is what I want to do, the way I want to do it. No, that's not pure in heart. You know when you're being true to the spirit that's within you. It reminds me of the first thought. Usually, I'm not going to say always, but usually, when we're coming from the right place, it's that first thought that we don't even have to think about. It just comes up, right? You know what I'm talking about? When you're doing meditation and all of a sudden that thought pops into your head and it feels right, even though it might feel scary, it might feel like, ooh, I had a thought. But then what happens? A lot of times we want to think again. Well, wait. Let me see. Those other thoughts that we're trying to erase the first thought, that's the fear speaking. That's the ego speaking, trying to control the situation. Because spirit is uncontrollable in that way. Spirit is like, yeah, do what you want to do. Yeah, okay. But you'll be back. Right? It's like, I'm not leaving. You'll be back. Okay? I think that was part of that song too. living as a brilliant essence, when you have that divine idea and you can't hold it back and you can't wait to get that idea into manifestation, doesn't that feel good? You can't wait to see how it shows up. Can't wait, but you know it's a step-by-step process, but all the time, that light is shining. You know, you just can't hold it back. I know sometimes we do try. You know, we do try to cover up that light, because sometimes it might seem embarrassing. It might seem like I don't have enough of whatever it takes, boldness, courage, or whatever, information, knowledge, wisdom. But you can't cover it up because people are going to ask you questions. What's going on? Hey, how you doing? That's all they need. And then we might start tripping, like trying to say anything other than exposing that light. I got a great idea. And sometimes shame might come up, I can't have a bright idea, brilliant idea. We get to own it, God shine unobstructed. Let it flow, let it shine. This is who you are being. Yes? Yeah? All right, let's move to the next one. Blessed are the peacemakers, bringing equanimity. How many of you consider yourself a peacemaker? I'm not saying every hand, but you're in a place called the center of peace. I'm just saying. All right? I don't want to embarrass anybody. You don't have to raise your hand, but I'm just saying, nod, smile, something, we don't want to try to they didn't raise their hand. No. Yeah, right? Be the peace. Wherever you are, by yourself. I have a friend who creates turmoil in like a millisecond. Just no, take a breath. How many times do you have to say that to somebody? Take a breath. That's enough. Listen, I didn't want to talk about it. I'm going to mention it really quickly. Somebody hit my car on Friday. First-time driver. Shouldn't have been on the street, no registration, no insurance. And her and the occupants of the car came out ready. They were ready. I was ready. I was ready to be the peace because I'm already surrounded by 4 or 5 people. I'm what? And thankfully, I know the option was be the peace. That was easy, because what am I going to do? Throw down? I'm no, I've been around too long to have to try to do that. Whether I could win, wasn't any option. It was what? Be the peace. I didn't tell him, take a breath. I just said my piece, said what I need to say, and I had to go back to the other beatitude and just, knew when to speak, knew when to listen. And when it's just okay, I wait for the police to come. And the police never came, but they calmed down. And we did what we were supposed to do anyway, exchange information. But being a peace was crucial in that moment. If because they all work in harmony together. If I didn't, know when to stop talking, I may not have got to this one. I may not have got to get to be peace in that moment. In the calm, in the storm. And the storm begins where? Between the ears. And it can attract others who want to jump in that storm. And sometimes they're comfortable with that role. Oh, a storm. You got a storm? Got storm? Yeah, no, I got peace. Yeah, that's what's happening. I'm no, I ain't jumping in that mess. So, yeah, at any time. Yeah, of course it helps if we start our day over as many times as necessary to be the peace. That's all right. And we are these powerful beings. I mean, I love that, you know, powerful individualized expressions of the one. That's who we are. That's what we carry everywhere we go. And folks, whether they know you or not, they know you. They know who you are. They're waiting for you to express who you are. And sometimes they want to help bring it out. I got a storm. Who are you going to be? You want to be a storm with me? You know, I know your peace, but are you sure? Let me see. Let me try this out. You know, yeah. It's up to who? It's up to us. You know, harmony and extended outward because it begins within. Yeah. That's it. Well, you know, you're getting a whole lot of responsibilities today. All right, so we'll move it to the next one. Now, I know there's some identification with this. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Got to be boldly enduring. The whole idea is that, you know, the story of Jesus, you know, being persecuted, you know, they're like, who you think you are? You, the Son of God? You think you're the Messiah? You think you're all that? I am what I am, you know. I'm my Father's son, you know. I mean, basically he was saying, well, don't you know that ye are gods? Don't you know the truth of who you are? You know, you set yourselves up, you know, to be all of that. I know who I am. I know who you all are. No, that wasn't good enough for them because they just didn't want him to, you know, have that role. But that's okay. But look, invite opposition. It's like a target on your back when you're just being the peace. You know, when you're being the love, when you're being compassionate, when you're being meek, and like, you know what, I don't have anything to say right now. That may not necessarily stop people from coming at you, but you got to be the one to practice these things. Boldly enduring. Enduring is one thing, but boldly, what's your option? Step back? Not stand for truth? Not stand on principle? I mean, we have, I don't know, countless leaders who stood up and stood out, you know, and put their lives on the line. I'm not saying that anybody, you know, has to do that. But they were boldly enduring. There were people who marched in the civil rights era with the fire hoses and the dogs and the, you know, murder, lynching, all of that. They were boldly enduring. Doesn't come easy. I mean, you know, at that age, yeah, I was on a boycott line, a picket line, you know, little marches, you know. You know, I think if I had seen what was going on TV, I might, as a little kid, I might like, I'm not going out there. What do I know? But my parents, you know, they were, and, you know, we're right along with them, making signs and all that, you know. But boldly enduring in the presence, knowing the presence is within. Like his wonderful song, you know, the stuff going on in the world. If you're not boldly enduring, are you going to have another opportunity to be boldly enduring? You know, my talk that last year, when I talked about Popeye, the great sage Popeye, and he said, "That's all I can stand. I can't stand no more." All of a sudden, he became boldly enduring. He's like, "Look, I'm getting beat down here. You know, I got to take a stand for what's right. You know, or at least my right to exist. You know, my right to live life, and for others as well. So to stand for truth, we got to take a stand. I mean, that's why we're in this teachings. Take a stand for spirit to express itself fully and completely." All right, so next. Blessed are you when men revile you. Isn't it interesting how people want to point out your faults? They're going to talk about you, right? Now, it may be true, or not, doesn't matter, but they're not looking at themselves, they're talking about you. And what do we have to do? We have to remain blissfully empowered. You're like, I know the truth of who I am. I am in my center of peace, because I am, there is peace in my center. I can't help that, rooted in the kingdom of God, the heavenly domain, the queendom. You're rooted in the truth of who you are in your world. Can't nobody tell you anything other than that. You know the truth of who you are. They call you outside your name. They're like, want to point fingers, want to make up lies, all that stuff. Want to try to take away your good, because they can't. But they can try. They can try to make you feel like they are. Okay? But no. I mean, the story of Jesus, he's on the cross, forgive them, they don't know what they do. One of the famous last words. Well, what's he saying is like, they can't touch this. Who is that? MC Hammer, right? Can't touch this. Sticks and stones might break my bones, but, you can't take away the truth of who I am. Right? Yeah. So, stay rooted in the truth of who you are. And then the next one, please. So, what are you going to do? Ask yourself, who am I choosing to be? You can take any one of these B's. Who am I choosing to be? Boldly enduring, balanced expression? Am I aligning my being with the attributes of spirit? Am I being peaceful, loving, kind, compassionate, understanding, merciful? Am I being joyful? Am I being giving? Am I being forgiving? What attributes are you putting in place to have a right attitude? Because first and foremost, if we don't have a right attitude, who's going to feel it first? It's not going anywhere. We might think somebody's going to catch my bad attitude. No, you got it. It ain't going anywhere. And they may not even understand it. They might not get it. They might be working on their own attitude. It's like, no. First and foremost, seek ye first, where is it? The divine, how do I call that? Oh, the heavenly divine place within you, the kingdom, the queendom. That's where you go first. And that's where all of these principles are. Yes? That's where they are. And so also, how am I choosing to be? How? How am I practicing these qualities in my everyday affairs? And they may come up as challenges. And then, what attitudes am I choosing to live? What's showing up? How are other people seeing me before I even open my mouth, before I even turn the corner? We're energetic beings. We are spiritual, we are spirit. Okay, and we inhabit these bodies and we use all this energy, and that energy precedes us everywhere we go. That's how we attract stuff to us. Like in that moment, what's that attitude? Because it's going to find a match. Okay, so we got to be aware of that. Living from love, peace, truth. So, we're going to take it to the next level. I know you've already done some affirmations, but guess what? We got some more food for you. All right? And we'll take it to the next one. I hope we got it on here. There we go. So I invite each one to join with me in repeating the affirmations. However, I invite you to speak it loudly like you wrote them yourself. Okay? Own it. Okay, so it gets a little bit ingrained in your presence. Okay, are you ready? Yes. How many? I heard like maybe 3 or 4 voices. Are you ready? Yes. Oh, here we go. I am embodiment of divine being. I choose to be the light, the love, and the life of spirit in expression. Today, I live my be attitudes, and the kingdom of heaven is right where I am. This is the truth. It's always been the truth, especially right now. And am I doing a quick little treatment? Fair? And so, yes, right where I am. No, now? Oh, yeah, sure. Please stand, practitioners, as I do this treatment to help ground what we've been experiencing in this moment. Oh, I thought you were just holding vigil. You didn't have to get up, but that's okay. Good to see you. And so right where I am, presence of the divine is divine. The divine is everywhere I am, and the I am is each and every one of us. Each and every one who is here is of the I am, is the I am being. It's being all that it is, being all that it is meant to be from the inside out, knowing that it begins with a greater understanding of oneness, the greater understanding of love and peace and joy and harmony and well-being, wholeness, all of this good that is ever available with every moment, with every breath. And so I am blessing each and every one that is hearing this word, that is knowing this word, that is experiencing this word, who is even doubting this word, and knowing that there is truth being revealed in every breath. And so I am knowing that the Beatitudes is an opportunity to be a greater attitude, not just for oneself, but for all expressions, all ones of the one. And all ones of the one get to share with each other. And maybe even in the midst of challenges, in the midst of turmoil, in the midst of change, there is the opportunity for an attitude of gratitude, attitude of compassion, attitude of being full of mercy and allowing it to flow. I know this shows up in all of our affairs, all of the affairs of relationships, knowing that each one is open and receptive to a greater understanding of a higher sense of being, a higher sense of order, a higher sense of, a wonderful reflective attitude that reflects like a mirror the true nature of each and every one. And so therefore, since there's only one, there is never a need for conflict or strife. There's never a need for war, because it's all one. It's all one of the same spirit. So we see peace and harmony as a natural way of being, the only way of really being. You see, an attitude of accepting abundance and prosperity as a way of accepting greater good. An attitude of trust and faith and knowing that God supplies everything necessary to fulfill the divine purpose on the planet. Oh, what a wonderful attitude to have. And also as well, an attitude of vibrant and abundant health in mind, body, of affairs, physically, in any way possible to continue life in this form. I am knowing that, yes, there's an attitude of faith and assuredness of being able to take care of what has been given for this spirit to move around the planet. I bless each and every word, each and every one, and knowing that these words already spoken into law of divine right order are returning full to overflowing. So I simply release this word, knowing it is done and continues to be done by law Lordy, Lordy, yes. And receive it and release it and let it be the good that it is. And please affirm this with me. Make it firm by saying, and so it is. And now it is. Right now, even now. Thank you. Bless you.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
So it is.
And so it
Thank you,
is.
everybody.
Thank you.
All right, at this time, I'd like to call our ushers forward. Wait. Okay. All right, Infinite Spirit, we give thanks for these gifts freely given from loving hearts. May they be used to bless, to heal, and to uplift not only this ministry, but the greater world we serve. We release these gifts into your perfection of law of circulation, knowing they return in many ways beyond our imagining. And so it is.
So it is. Right
Okay.
on.
When you receive, when you give, know that God is all there is. So who's giving what to whom? When we give, who's giving what to whom? When we receive, who's giving what to whom? When we give, know that God is all there is. So who's giving what to whom? Trusting in the law of circulation, knowing that it is as we believe. At the level of our faith, we release and make it so. At the level of our giving, we receive. Oh, when we give, who's giving what to whom? When we receive,
so it is.
So it is.
Let's show Reverend Rodney some love. Thank you so much. And now I'd like to invite our choir to come up and sing our closing song.
So greetings and love from our dear Marcy, who's with Mr. Gerald Beasley at the base boot camp this weekend. So she'll be thumping up a storm when she comes back. Oh, everybody stand. This is our closing song. There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all by myself. Everybody didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, y'all go ahead. You have got to let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go.
Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Spirit from my
Find my life.
my heart is open wide.
Heart is open wide. I'm only here for God.
No more struggle,
No more struggle, no more strife.
with my faith.
With my faith, I see the light.
I am free.
I'm free in the Spirit. Only here for God.
I am free.
I'm free
In the Spirit.
in the Spirit. I'm only here for God. Here for God.
Yes, I'm
Only here for God. Yes, I'm only here
And with that, I want to thank everyone for coming out, and I hope you enjoyed the service. Sending you love and light, and knowing the divine is always with you, always within you, and always expressing through you. And so it is.
I wish you peace. I wish you joy. I wish you love, 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 love. I wish you faith in yourself to reveal all that you've come here to be. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. I wish you strength. I wish you courage, wish you love, 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 love. I wish you purpose to create all your dreams and co-conspire with the light of your life. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Your answers to eternity are always deep inside you. Their freedom of expression, it's yours to choose or hide. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my choice. Love is my decision. Love is my voice. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion. Love is my religion.